please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. You're with us on Overdrive. Now, Audi's plans for expanding its portfolio in India paved the way for the A5 lineup. Now, we sampled the leader of the pack, the A5 Sportback, just to get an initial impression of what's in store. Take a look.
Sportbacks or four-door coupes, they're not to everybody's taste. There are many who still prefer the classic three-box proportions of a classic sedan design. But if you ask me, the four-door coupes, they look so much better, so much sportier than their classic counterparts. We have quite a few examples. We have the CLA, the CLS. We also have the Audi A7, which despite its age, looks so beautiful and sporty even today. And now there's another good looker that joins the family. It is the Audi A5. And that is what I'm driving right now. Take a look at the A5 from any angle and it looks gorgeous. That is partly because it's not every day that you see a new age Audi being so full of curves and sweeping lines. Certainly not one that has four doors. To me, the prettiest angle to view the A5 from is at the back. The Sportback body style gives it the coupe roofline that flows into the well-defined haunches. The prominent creases and the sharply cut taillights and headlights give the A5 its athletic stance. Though it is based on the A4, you won't mistake the A5 for a typical four-door sedan, even in a passing glance. Compared to the previous A5, which was brought to India in the Go Faster S5 guise, the new A5 not only looks sportier, but also previews what the future Audi sedans would look like. Getting in and out of the A5 Sportback isn't easy, as is the case with most coupe body styles. But once you sink into the seats, you realize that it is a typical Audi on the inside. Impeccable fit and finish, intuitive controls, and full of premium materials. I like the black wood inserts, but I would have liked the cabin to be more flamboyant to match the exterior appeal. The cabin will remind you of the A4, but feels a tad bit less run space, especially at the back. The India spec model comes with an 8-inch infotainment system, but some of its features like the 755-watt Bang & Olufsen audio system or smartphone interfaces like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are optional. The A5 gets the virtual cockpit as a standard fitment though. Upon launch, the A5 will only be available with one engine option for now. It will be the more popular 2-litre diesel. It's the same engine that powers the A4 as well, which means it puts out about 190 PS of power and about 400 Newton meters of torque. And despite its sensible approach, it still is quite a powerful, quite a punchy motor. It is one of the best 2-litre diesels in business, not only because of its figures, but also because of its refinement levels. It builds power pretty quickly, while a surge of torque hits you around the 2500 RPM mark. It almost revs as quickly as a petrol motor, but the 4500 RPM red line leaves you wanting for more. The A5 is based on VW's MLB platform, and the engine feeds power to the front wheels despite its longitudinal mounting. There is a bit of torque steer when you accelerate hard, but it is ironed out quite quickly. The 7-speed gearbox is predictable and will seldom make you use the paddle shifters. In the right conditions, the A5 diesel can go from standstill to 100 in 7.9 seconds. But if you would want something more punchier to go with the sportier bodywork of the A5, then you will have to opt for the S5, which gets you a 3-litre petrol unit, which produces a lot more power and torque and some really good numbers. While you see the S5 in the footage here, we will review it at a later date when we have the right roads for it. But if a corner cover is what you're looking for in the A5 range, this is what you will want to drive. Globally, the A5 comes with optional adaptive dampers. My particular test car doesn't. However, on some of the broken sections that we encountered in Rajasthan, the suspension was quite silent, the ride quality was really good. But unfortunately, I've only been driving on arrow straight highways, so I can't really comment on how this vehicle handles around the twisties. So more on that with a road test. The higher profile tires contribute to the firm but pliant ride of the A5. They grip pretty well too and inspire confidence despite the understeery nature of the front wheel drive configuration. The brakes on the A5, compared to what I remember from the A4, which had progressive brakes, this particular car at least has brakes that are biting a little too sharp. They have a little bit of an urgency when it comes to braking. they aren't as progressive as the A4. So out on the highway, at highway speeds, it's still fine, but in the city speeds, they feel a little too grabby for my liking. Overall, the A5 isn't a four-door sports sedan, as its form would otherwise suggest, but has siblings in the range to take care of that aspect. The A5 Sportback to me is a quick highway operator with good road manners and practicality for long-distance touring. If you think that the practical A4 is a little boring with its straight lines and classic proportions, then the A5 could actually end up attracting you more. It borrows the kit and the mature drivetrain that actually makes the A4 a sensible buy, but at the same time it wraps it all in a very nice and sporty bodywork, which also gives it its exclusivity. So if you ask me, I think the A5 is a damn good car.
Well, the A5 virtually has no competition in the Indian market, but with its price and positioning, what it actually means is that the A4 will be its toughest competitor, followed by the Jaguar XE and the BMW 3 Series. Now with that, we've officially run out of time on this week's episode of Overdrive, but we'll see you next week during the festive season. Until then, have a great weekend.